Okay, welcome to our stream, everyone. Sound check lang. Did some adjustments. Ayan, mukhang okay na tayo. On time for this week. On time. So, thankfully naman, go live na ako ngayon. So, hindi kagaya last week kasi nagka-problem sa stream. 20 minutes pa ako before nakapag-start mag-stream last week. So, welcome everyone to our fourth weekly installment to our casual live stream. So, na-adjust ko lang yung audio ko. I think parang mababa yung volume ko ngayon compared last week kasi I was listening to the replay of last week and napansin ko, yung audio, parang nagkakarak siya. Makiskis yung audio last week. So, binabaan ko yung audio levels ko ngayon para hindi masakit sa tenga. So, bear with me na lang siguro. We have to compromise the volume level against dun sa actual level ng voice ko. So, welcome. Quite frankly, this is literally an unplanned, not planned na stream. So, as we start, lipat ko lang yung scene ko. Welcome to yet another weekly live stream of Genshin Impact. So good news, I think hindi naman na ako solo. This week, wala pa yung co-host ko, Z will come again, no? Now, today, she will be coming later on pa, mga siguro give or take mga 20 minutes pa. And she will join us for today's live stream. So, welcome everyone, welcome. Actually, di ko talaga alam yung sasabihin ko, pero we'll be talking a lot more structured today. Hindi kagaya last week na kung ano dinaldal ko kasi na-late ako ng pag-press ng go live, no? So, kasi we are doing scheduled streams na as opposed to before, yung unang dalawang live stream kasi is literally go live na lang kami diretso. And nalaman ko na lang last week na hindi pala ganun pagka nag-schedule ka, kailangan mo i-press yung go live. So, yun lang naman. Welcome everyone. Today we'll be talking two main things. Wala pa si Z. So, yung pag-uusapan later with Z, doon natin pag-uusapan mainly ano yung meron currently and anong currently meron sa Genshin Impact. And 2 days from now kasi is Genshin Impact's first anniversary as seen in our thumbnail, no? Ito, it's first anniversary ng Genshin Impact since its launch, no? It launched nung 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's September 28th. So that will be their first anniversary this coming Tuesday. So I think they're doing some live stream, or I think they will be doing a live stream on Tuesday. I've seen some stuff on the internet. I haven't read the notices pa so far. Pero apparently there will be a server maintenance on October 1. So kita nyo on screen ngayon. May maintenance on October 1. No? So yes, Free Gems. Yung tinatawag nilang Primo Gems. We will receive 600 of those. Well, yes, lagi naman tayo nakaka-receive sa 600 doing server maintenance, di ba? So, ayun, which brings us to the topic at hand. Mamaya pa pala natin i-cover yung anniversary. So, stay tuned for that. Tayo natin si Z dumating. So, ano pag-usapan mo natin habang wala siya? And quite ironically, yung i-discuss ko is hindi ko made-demonstrate on screen, but we'll be talking about resins. So, this friend of mine asked me the other day, where should I spend my resins, no? How should I spend my resins? Kasi ako nung una akong nag-start sa game, hindi ko din alam or hindi ko pa nag-grasp yung importance ng resins, 'di ba? And ngayon kasi nakikita ko dito, yung nagiging format natin is parang instead of doing showcases and gameplay gameplay footage, no, parang we're driving away but moving towards a more podcast like approach. Um Probably for October live streams and November siguro, we'll be doing those na. For now lang kasi dahil wala pang structure and kagaya nito, mga hindi pa masyadong planado, we'll be doing some random stuff muna as we progress. So, last last week, last week, last week or yung last na live stream na nakita natin, kasi dinidiscuss ko na siya for 20 minutes. Pero yung pala hindi nga siya nagsasend data. But I was referring to three of the most common terms in the game. So we have early early game, mid game, and late game. So the best way to grasp the idea, kapag early game ka pa lang, nag-start ka pa lang sa story. So you're most likely here in Mondstadt, no? So you start here in around this area here, then you walk yourself towards Mondstadt city proper. And then the story goes on from there. That's mostly your early game is spent in Mondstadt and meeting the characters, the plot, and materials, etc. Dito yan. And then, probably, around that time, no, mga AR 25, no, mga transitioning ka na. From 25 to 30, you now move on to Liwe. Or actually, you can go straight away to Liwe after doing your Mondstadt things here. You can go straight to Liwe and do its quests. But usually, we will be considering mid games to be those from AR 30 to AR 45. Or siguro, para mas broaden yung margin, AR 30 to AR 50. Yun yung mid game. So, this friend of mine, I classified yung friend ko na yun na malapit na siya sa late game. Or so, that friend of mine was transitioning from mid game to late game. So, stepping into the AR 50s and above. And there are really different strategies to spend your resins depending on where you are in the game. Pag early game ko pa lang, starting here, there is limited selection of what you can do with your resins. The first na siguro na para hindi mali agad yung gagawin mo, no? First thing you can spend on your resins is the open world boss na na-access na agad dito. Here, ang una mo pala ma-access in your early game is the Cryo Regisvin. And siguro you'll be meeting the Andrews in a later quest. And of course, one of the earliest, or ito talaga yung first pala rather na Trans Domain, Storm Terror. So, yun yung mga una. Now, you can see on screen sa map, there are these icons right here na parang cloud-shaped thingies. So, they are the ley line outcrops. If you're in early game, I highly suggest I repeat, do not do this outcrops. Why? In early game kasi marami kang marireceive na Mora or Hero Suite. They're enough to bring you through mid game. So you don't really need to farm these. Masasayang lang ang resin mo. Unless, or this is a big unless, wala ka na talaga mas-spend ng resins mo. You spend them here. Other than that, another thing that I will suggest not to do is to farm for artifacts right away. Why? Kasi your world level is still low. So when you farm, you get more or less lower quality of artifacts. So where should you spend your resins then when you're here? Since you're just starting out in the game, if you're in early game, go ahead and open or unlock other world bosses. And when you're starting out, you have this characters muna na start your characters, of course, or if you've done gacha before you step into Liyue, you must have siguro new 4-star characters and 5-star characters. That's a topic for another discussion. So which characters are best to play with or team compositions, etc. That's a topic for another stream. Pero ngayon, ang focus lang natin, paano may suspend yung resins mo? Sa early game, the important thing is to farm and farm world boss. Kasi later on in the game, you will regret not spending it on them. Kasi may hirapan ka. Mauubusan ka ng resin pagdating mo sa mid-game kasi halo-halo na, sabay-sabay na yung fina-farm mo. Another thing na pwedeng pag-spenda ng resins, and this is highly recommended, is by talent ascension domains. So, like this one, ito, may encounter mo to a lot of times in your gameplay for Second Rift. So, that's a good investment. Right? Okay, so, yun yung early game. Ano pa bang pwede mo spendan ng resins sa early game? Halimbawa, sabihin natin na exhaust mo na talaga lahat yun lang yung na-discover mo early game. Then, another thing, but this is really last resort, is to craft the enhancement ores using your original resins or just make them condensed resins and then play on them on the other day. So, yun lang yun. So, that's for early game, no? Limited information kasi general lang naman. Hindi naman tayo magiging specific or consider the factors that you will be taking into account. Now, for mid-game, these are the people from AR 30 to AR 50. Ito medyo mapapagastos ka na talaga ng resin. In addition dun sa mga nabanggit ko kanina, open world boss, character talent, ascension materials, of course, those are important, very, very important. Pag mid-game ka na, dyan na rin papasok, syempre may weekly boss ka, no? And then sometimes dito ka na rin makakaran into problems, Mora problems, heroes with, and most likely, mga ganun, talaga may encounter mo na yun. So, you will be farming some of these but not as intense pa. Usually sa late game na talaga to parang nagiging weekly thing, yung leyline outcrop. And, hindi ko pa nababanggit pala, disclaimer, this is just based on personal experience. This is not based on analysis or anything. And nabanggit na rin naman namin sa first stream yun, we want to identify ourselves as a casual players only. So, we're not like those, yung may mga YouTubers talaga, they check, no? Frame by frame damage, etc. We don't cover that kind of thing. If you're just a casual player, then you're in the right place. Or we will be answering the ultimate question of this endeavor journey, no? Is it worth it to be a goldfish in Genshin Impact? So, what is a goldfish, you ask? I don't know if I've defined it before sa mga earlier episodes, pero being goldfish means you're spending a little bit of currency on the game. Is it worth it? Is it not? So we will be trying to answer that pag nandito na yung aking mga co-host. So, yun. And for now, let's get back on topic. So, you're in the mid-game. Let's say you're AR 30 and then you're going to AR 50. That's a long way and you have a lot of quests to do. For your resins, I would suggest you still do the early game. And in addition to early game, you should be spending your resins now on a bit of artifacts. But don't get too much in it. Kasi ang problem dyan, kapag nag-start ka na ng artifact farming sa mid-game, again, mababa pa yung world level mo. And usually, some of the domains require really you to unlock certain amount of world level before you can farm their artifacts. So, for example, here in the domain of Dragon Spine, even though you can unlock this very early in the game, if dedicated player ka talaga, you can unlock this early. And you will not be able to farm gold artifacts pa agad. Kasi the thing that's holding you back is your adventure rank and your world level. So, the best thing to spend your resins is to check ano yung kulang ng character mo. And most likely, ang magandang gawin sa mid-game, mag-stack ka na on talent materials. Ito, pag late game mo na ito ginawa, medyo mahirap-hirap. Kasi nakikipagsabayan niya sa ibang farm. So, pag mid-game ka, stack up on talent materials and weapon. Ayan. Speaking of which, ito ang hindi nakaka-apekto masyado, no? You can farm on weapon materials. Yon, kasi hindi siya masyado, dependent pa rin naman siya sa adventure rank and world level. Pero you don't have to reach a certain level para lang to get a decent amount, no? You can still get some amount. Although again, that's kind of bottom in the list. Hindi siya yung priority mo. Priority mo is to get materials as much as possible. And one of the common, siguro, bigyan ko na kayo ng common na mapu-farm yung boss din. Bukod pa sa cryo-reg space and etc. Hypostasis, of course. And animo hypostasis. Very much, emphasized. Yan. Kasi, probably you'll get sucrose at one point in game. You'll get sucrose. So, farm this one. And, it's easy to live in the game if you have an anemo character. And we'll discuss that on a future episode na lang siguro. Not hindi muna ngayon. And another thing, you'll get some characters for free. Barbara and Xiangling. Ngayon, should you build Barbara? I don't think so. Why? Kasi may ma-encounter ka pang better healers. Unless may decent constellation kay Barbara and siya lang talaga yung healer mo. Since siya lang talaga yung healer mo, parang I doubt it kasi once you get into the gacha, you might get Leona or Bennett. Bennett. Mga talagang dedicated nating healers and supports. So they're better. Ang dapat mo i-build ay si Xiangling. Now, why? And I have answered the question why. Why should you build Xiangling? Very briefly lang. Hindi pa siya yung specific na guide or anything. You can check it out dun sa previous nating or last week's na stream. And that's what you need to know with regards to farming or rather spending your resins. No? Okay. So, late game. Diba? Nasa late game ka na. This is my current phase actually. And most of my friends are in the late game. Siyempre, di ko bubuksan yung friends panel kasi baka makita sila. Pero most of my friends are in late game na. So we are above AR 50 and most of the resin spending happens in artifact farming. Ayan. Napunta tayo sa topic ng artifact farming. Now, you might be keen to notice na hindi ko binabanggit ang differences or rather the two types of resin. We have the original, the fragile, and meron pa pala transient resin. So there are 3 types of resins in the game. Fortunately, wala na akong fragile. So hindi ko mapapakita sa inyo kung ano itsura niya. Pero it's just kind of the same as original resin. Pero ayun na. Meron din pala condensed resin. So technically 4 types of resin na meron sa game. So ang right at this point siguro, should you have spent fragile resin? No, please do not spend fragile resin up until malapit ka ng mag-late game. Yung mga siguro, AR 45, ganun, mga ganun. Save your fragile resins up until AR 45. Why? Those resins will be helpful kasi they will push you through sa artifact farming. And artifact farming, I tell you, is most siguro 90% of your late game experience. Comes from artifact farming and polishing your characters, aside from which of course the other 10% is the spiral abyss. So that's basically one of the reasons, not the main reason, but one of the reason why you want your artifacts or you want to build a character, even if you're a casual player. Kahit casual ka lang maglaro, ang laki ng difference kasi and ang laki din ng power requirement if you're going well and beyond here. Ano yung world level 8 yan. So world level 8 kasi you'll be encountering really strong boss and higher HP enemies out in the wild. So having, sabihin na natin, 4-digit damage isn't gonna serve you in the long run. So you have to build your character decently. Now, if you're following kanina pa, with regards sa early and mid-game farming resin spending, by this time, you should have also stuck with your talent materials. So, para hindi mo na pinoproblema at ang pinoproblema mo na lang ay artifacts. So, regarding sa artifacts, dito ako medyo magiging specific. How can you maximize your farming experience? Now, first and foremost, who is your DPS? Now, we have parang main classifications of DPS or yung mga most commonly used DPS. We have Pyro and Cryo. No? So, for me, I have Lee as my main Pyro DPS and Ayaka as Cryo DPS. And early in the game, ang ginagamit ko actually is si Diluc. Pero ngayon, hindi ko na siya nagagamit. Pero back then, I really remember the time na naubos ko halos kalahati ng fragile resin ko para lang makapag-farm ng maayos na artifact kay Diluc, para kay Diluc. Ngayon, maganda naman or like nag-bear fruit naman siya. Problem lang kasi, and late ko na to na-realize. Kapag nag-farm ka ng gano'n na pure for Pyro, for Pyro lang, for Pyro as in Pyro, medyo kalaban mo ang odds dito or dapat talaga super swerte ka kasi ang kasama niyang artifact is Lava Walkers. Now, Lava Walkers is nothing to laugh about. The two-piece set is kind of nonsense. Or at least kung may sense man, hindi siya makaka-apekto significantly in your game. Hindi siya makakapag-improve ng overall experience mo. However, yung four-piece set ng Lava Walkers, if used correctly, will serve you right. So, let's check Lava Walkers. And actually, I haven't used it yet. Pero, judging from nababasa ko sa sites and other YouTubers as well, their references, I used this pala kay Amber. I mean, mga, ano na to, mga, tawag dito? Random artifact na sila, no? Pero 4-piece set kasi, increases damage against opponents affected by Pyro by 35%. So, let's say Klee. Tapos, nagpatok ako kunwari ng bomba niya, ganun. O kaya, si Diluc, tumama ka na sword niya na may fire, ganun. So, affected ng pyro yung kalaban mo, di ba? Tapos, pag nag-hit ka ulit sa kanila, may additional pang 35% yon, which is requires setup, no? Medyo tedious siyang gawin. Kailangan talaga you have to make sure affected by pyro yung enemies mo. Otherwise, wala din siyang trade-off. It's kind of like, high risk, high reward. Start of thing? High risk, high reward. Pero again, that's not the point. Lava Walker is not the point, no? The point is, out of those, nakalaban mo 50-50, makukuha mo ba Crimson, makukuha mo ba Lava Walkers. Ngayon, most of the time, baka makuha mo nga rin naman ay Lava Walkers and you'll not be able to use it. Ngayon, what do I suggest? Medyo madali pa kasi yung matter with regards sa Cryo DPS. Sige, doon muna tayo. Cryo DPS, yung domain kasi niyan, Dragon Spine, mahirap. I tell you, kung nagsisimula ka pa lang sa artifact farming, it's really hard. Si Weeb, if you remember her from our previous streams, I helped her in this domain. I think 1 month kami dito. And this is, paano ba? Parang masisiraan ka ng ulo dito kapag hindi mo kaya talagang i-clear na mabilis yung domain na yun. Sige, mag-demonstrate tayo para mabilis, no? Will not be claiming, of course, pero sige, let's see lang yung domain na to. So, why this domain is good for, yung mga nagka-cryo DPS, this is good. Why? Kasi, ang isa pang set nito is Ocean of Death, which is good for Hydro characters. Now, you might be wondering, and meron sa Hydro, wala naman ako DPS na Hydro, wala naman akong chill, kunwari. Wala naman akong, wala pa akong Xingshu, wala akong Mona, ganun, no? You have Barbara. Pero, Xingshu, most likely, makukuha mo yan. Xingshu. Literally. So, at one point in game, you have to get Xingshu. Yeah, he is good. And partnering. Ito yung mga example ng domain na magandang i-farm. Kasi, either way, either of the set na makuha mo dyan, it will benefit any of your characters or future characters, no? Hindi kagaya ng sa Pyro, high risk, high reward kasi mahirap. Parang, maybe you'll get this, pero kalaban mo din kasi yung stat eh. Kapag ka ganun. So, here, pagkaya na sinasabi ko kanina, mahihirapan ka dito kapag first time mo. Kasi, with how it is structured, kita naman dito. Okay. Okay, so, ginawa namin to for a month. Pero ako, nahihirapan ako kasi hindi ko naman to usually pina-farm. Or, siguro mag-isa, ganun. May kasama ako lagi dito. So, it's not a lot easier if you're with friends, ganun. So, ayun. If you're going to farm, lalo na cryo DPS gamit mo, then go for it. Go for it. Pero yung pyro DPS characters are quite tricky. They're quite tricky, no? They're quite tricky on their own. Kasi ako, ang gamit ko kay Klee ay Wanderer's Troop. Ang gamit ko sa kanyang set. Si Diluc lang yung gumamit ang full piece at ang Crimson. Witch of Flames. Kasi ako, kung siguro nag-farm ako ng artifacts for Klee, masisiraan din ako ng ulo dun. Kasi ang hirap ng Crimson Witch of Flames domain. It's really hard. Okay? So, other than this domain, ano pang marirecommend ko na magandang domain? Okay. So, ito naman, although hindi ito pang DPS, actually, mix of DPS and support. Another good domain that I would recommend will be the Bloodstained / Noblesse Oblige. Noblesse Oblige. Ayan, you'll be using that artifact a lot for many characters. Siguro, currently, I have several characters who are using Noblesse. So, I have Zhongli, tas 2-piece kay Raiden. Kaso, papalitan ko pa yan pag may full set na ako na emblem. So, still farming for her. And then, kay Venti applicable din. Pero, siguro, mas utility sa kanya ang Viridescent. Sino pa ba? Kay Diona, pwede ang Noblesse. Pero, para sa akin, ideal lang Maiden's Beloved sa kanya. Kasi, yun din. We'll get to that later. Sa domain yan. Another Noblesse Oblige pa na maganda ay si Bennett. Yan. Maganda din Noblesse Oblige sa kanya. And, yung lumang mga builds kay Xiangling ay Noblesse Oblige. Ako ngayon, naka-Noblesse Oblige ako, mix of Crimson Mage. Pero pag nakakuha din ako ng decent na emblem, baka mag-move na rin ako sa emblem for her. And then, for the rest of most of the supports will be using the Noblesse. Lalo na kung sa burst nila lang gagaling yung damage. So, mga aforementioned ko dito kay Xiangling, burst yan. Si Zhongli, burst yan. Si Ayaka tuloy, Raiden Shogun, burst yan. Si Diona, healing niya sa burst. Okay? So, those characters who are benefiting, what is si Bennett, of course, let's not forget, yung mga burst nila, no? They will greatly benefit from the Noblesse Oblige. Lalo na yung 4-piece set. So, this is a good good domain to farm, no? Early in the game, kasi maraming gagamit na characters, no? Hindi kagaya sa Pyro kasi talagang either DPS mo lang makakagamit yan, this domain right here. And yung Lava Walker, wala masyado nakakagamit yan unless you have the full set and you're willing to do some setup to make the most out of that set. Mas flexible pa rin ang Crimson Witch. Lalo na full set nun. Very malaki ang damage. Yun na lang. Okay. And which brings us to the third domain na I would suggest. Viridescent. The Viridescent domain. Why? At one point in the game, you need a healer. And this produces or this yields Maiden's Beloved. And there are characters that needs this. No, need this one. Now, ito yung primary na habol mo. Very decent. Kasi at one point makukuha mo si Sucrus or kung may target kang sino mang animo boy or ayan. Kung may target ka man, ayan, maganda to. Maganda ang very decent. One of the best artifacts that's in the game. Kasi makikita nyo naman dito, lalo na kasi pang support talaga to. Design for support. Pero at the same time, yung 2-piece niyan is acting as a half-half for DPS slash na for animo, no? Example si Zhao. Zhao uses 2-piece set gladiators, 2-piece Viridescent. For Venti, mga support, usually ang role, ang ano dito, ang golden rule dito. Kapag support, full set ng Viridescent. Kapag DPS, hahalo mo siya with gladiators para ayos na. Attack plus. Ganun. Okay. Ano pa ba mga artifacts na dapat mong i-farm? Meron kasing group of people, they use all or in tawag dito na mono teams, mono pyro, lahat pyro, o kaya here in my next suggestion is mono electro, ayan. Mono electro team. Ngayon kung papansin nyo, karamihan ng characters kasi sa electro, ironically, they don't use much of their element except sa support na electros. Pero kapag DPS na electro, usually physical yan. Razor, physical build usually. And then we have sino pa ba? Si Fischl. Physical din yan. Wala pala ako masyadong electro. Pero, ayun. Some of the examples. So, I believe mahirap din yung sa electro. It's the same situation as Pyro kasi ang kalaban mo doon ay Thunder Shooter instead of Lava Walkers. Ang kailangan mo is Thundering Fury. Baka bigyan ka ng Thunder Shooter. Wala ding masyadong gagamit ng Thunder Shooter. So, ayun. Gamble masyado yung Pyro and Electro. Pero if you're really dedicated for a DPS character na either Pyro or Electro, go for it. Just remember, magtira kayo ng at least 30 fragile resins. Huwag niyong gagastusin lahat yung fragile resins nyo. Talking for late game players. Okay? Wag niyo uubusin yan kasi for sure maglalabas sa miho yun ng bagong character and by then you need to build them again and you need to use those fragile resins. Okay, that about covers my first part. At dahil wala pa si Z, looks like I can start covering yung ano no, first first part tuloy. Yung anniversary ng Genshin. Ayan. We can talk about it then. Pero bago yan, I'll just check my chat over here. Ayan, thank you sa ating mga bumabati sa chat. Shoutout na lang po. Ayan. Hello. Yes. Okay. So, isa kong friend, just to mention na lang din regarding sa, ano no, sa Veridicent domain. And this is very, very apparent. Ginawa niyang DPS si Kazuha. And ako, believe ako, any character can be DPS with the right build. Pero, it doesn't work the other way around, or like, you make a DPS character or talagang DPS yung role niya, gagawin mo siya support, it's hard. Pero, any support can be DPS with the right build. So, siya, siguro, sige, mag-name drop tayo, si Weeb. Si Weeb, ginawa niya kasing DPS si Kazuha. I think nabanggit na yun sa mga huling stream. Siguro we'll be requesting from her showcase, no? Pakita natin damage ang kanyang malupit na DPS Kazuha kasi ang lupit talaga ng damage ang Kazuha niya. Although yung build niya, di ko alam kung afford pa ng mga Kazuha owners din kasi 5-star yung gamit niyang weapon. And maganda talaga yung artifacts niya. So, that your mileage may vary regarding doon. So, ano pa ba ang mga pwede nating i-cover, no? Yun na muna kasi dumaldal na ako ng 30 minutes regarding lang sa resin spending. So, di ko na ba magatin yung pangalan na contribute pero I really acknowledge her her contribution to this one, to the content. So, thank you. Thank you very much. So, yun yung pinaka-overview. Just to summarize, kapag early game ka pa lang, use your resins on open world boss and explore open domains. Yan ang maganda. Open domains, stock up on talent materials if you have the opportunity. Stock up on talent materials. And then, kapag nasa mid-game ka na, although hindi pa emphasize yung artifact farming, you should at least farm for weapons. Weapon essential materials. Importante yan. Kasi later on the game, we are trying to prevent na may sabay-sabay yung needs. Sabay na kailangan neto. Ayun. Nag-evaporate agad yung resin mo. Boom. Wala sila lahat. And then we also covered the 4 different types of resin. So, we have condensed. Yung original pa lang muna. Original, the one you're most familiar with. We have 160 of those daily or every 21 hours. No, you have 160 original resins. We also have the condensed resin, which is basically ikaw lang gagawin mo yung original resin as condensed, or yung 40 gagawin mo isa. It's very useful if you need to parang may sobra kang resin, you want to store them somewhere. And then we also have transient resin. Hindi ko siya na-touch, pero yung transient resin, it can be bought through the Serenity Pot weekly din. I forgot the price. I think 1,200 realm currency yun. So, it acts just like a fragile resin, pero may expiration date. Now, which brings us to fragile resins. Fragile resins, ma-accumulate mo yun through quests, etc. Maraming pinanggagalingan niya. Battle Pass, yun. For fragile resins, you have to save them up until before ka mag-late game. Kasi mahirap mag-ipon ng fragile. And a rule of thumb, once you're in late game, ito na, which brings us to late game, you're farming for artifacts. Make sure hindi bababa ng 30 yung matitira sa yung fragile kasi for sure maglalabas si Miho yun ng bagong character na baka magustuhan mo. And of course, you need to stock up on them. No? You need to stock up on the fragile essence para makapag-farm ka ng artifacts. Now, in conclusion again, 3 suggested domains for artifacts. Kung may cryo DPS ka, good news. Kasi yung domain mo, although mahirap siya, na pakita ko naman kanina, although mahirap siya, doable naman. Although mahirap siya, worth it naman yung mga kakalabasan mo dito. Kasi magagamit siya. Magagamit siya at one point in the game. Walang masasayang dyan, hopefully. Unless pangit or trash yung stats. No? Next, na suggested ko na domain is Dinobless Oblige, Bloodstain. I think may na-miss akong isang domain pero ayun. So, Noblesse Oblige and Bloodstain yung susunod. And then lastly is Very Decent. Those are the top 3 na may suggest kong artifact domains talaga na halos walang masasayang pag ang drop. Kahit maling set yung maibigay sa'yo, may gagamit yan. Ang mga dapat nyong iwasang domain siguro, kaso hindi naman sa totally iwasan, pero you're just up against a bigger gamble here, which is Pyro and Electro. No, Pyro and Electro domains. Kasi ang mga kahalo nilang sets, ito, Lava Walkers and Thunder Suitors respectively, they're not really useful or they're not very used by many characters. No? So, ayun. Pero if you're gonna ask me, anong artifact set ang gusto kong kunin agad or ikaw pala rather kung magsasuggest ko sa'yo, unahin mo DPS, syempre. Pero you have to identify, kapag Pyro DPS ka, you have to accept the risks of Crimson Witch of Flames domain kasi nga may kahalong Lava Walkers yon. Pag Cryo ka, good news nga kasi you can do the Dragon Spine, wala ka halos dun masasayang na drop. Unless trash yung stats, of course. And then, sunod mo agad yung support. Sub-DPS or sub-support, no? Ako, I like, may category pa kasi yun eh. Pero ako, usually, ang mga kasama kong support is burst. Burst support sila. So, kita nyo on screen, I have my main DPS Klee, and then the rest of the Archons, the 3 of them, Zhongli, Raiden Shogun, and Venti, all the 3 of them rely most of their damage relies on their bursts. So, Noblesse Oblige, very practical. Pero kay Venti, syempre, very decent. Then, kay Raiden Shogun, baka I really need to farm more Emblem of Severed Fates kasi yun ang magandang artifact set sa kanya. Okay, so kung may questions kayo, just drop it there sa chat natin. Kaya i-comment yun na lang dyan. Okay, mukhang parating na si Z, I think. So, standby lang tayo muna. Just give me a minute. Setup lang namin. And thank you for still, still being with us here. Standby lang muna kami.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back sa ating live stream. Kasama na natin si Z, yes, after
Hello!
absence of a week. Welcome back,
After a
Z.
week, nakakamiss din maglaro.
Yes.
Mag-stream. Kasi
Yes.
sobrang tambak na talaga ng pinagagawa. Kaya, dapat lang lalaro tayo.
True.
Huwag na mag-aral.
True.
Huwag na
Ay,
mag-aral.
grabe. Actually, sinabi ko yan sa mga previous streams, no? Busy si Z. And actually, ako din busy din naman ako. Pero, ganun talaga ang buhay. Busy naman tayo.
Ng rest. Oo. Genshin is rest.
Genshin is rest. Diba? Okay. So, join tayo sa world ni Z. Oh,
At
no.
magastos tayo ng ating fragile resin. Na dapat ginagamit lang sa artifact dumi.
Which is tama naman. Gagamitin mo naman talaga sa artifact.
Pag-artifact talaga naman siya. Kasi sayang pag iba mo ginamit.
Yeah.
Wala din agad Oh, wait. Kailangan ko pala tabuhin. Bibili pala mo na sa Serenity Pot ko.
Oh. Sige.
Sayang
I think magdi-disband naman automatically. Sige lang, go lang.
Ay, wait. Ay, sorry.
Di, okay lang.
Wait.
Ayan,
Sorry.
nag-disband na.
Ay, ko lang naalala ngayon.
Okay lang. Sige, habang nagpo-process tayo, Z, pag-usapan natin. Kasi anniversary na ng Genshin Impact sa September 28.
Wow. Bilis lang.
Wow. Bilis, no?
Sabi, parang last year wala akong kaalam-alam sa Genshin.
Same.
Next year lang talaga.
Nagbago po ang buhay nang nakilala ang
Opo, tama.
nakilala ang Genshin.
Simula ng Genshin, nasira na ang aking sleeping schedule.
Ay,
yes.
Ayun, isa din yun. Ayun. Well, Genshin is Genshin. Pero for a lot of players, this is really the relief that we're looking for, lalo na pandemic and all.
Yeah, relief.
Saka,
relief.
Yung isa dun sa mga promotional video ng MiHoYo, yung parang pinapakita na doon, meron dun dalawang na in-interview. Sabi nila they got together with their friends na abroad through Genshin. Nakaka-amaze lang kasi kahit nga separated naman tayo, this is one thing that we can see each other. Kahit virtually. Ayun.
Yung time na mga kasama tayo. Play na rin.
Yeah.
Ito na lang tayo kasama. Okay na ako.
Okay.
I just bought na. And then,
Okay. Sorry nga pala kasi currently naka-standby yung screen natin sa YouTube pero rinig naman yung audio natin, don't worry. Ano lang, kasi ayaw natin makita yung details, etc. Give me a sec. Okay, we're going back here. Okay, we're back. So, nasa mundo na tayo ni Z. Wow. Okay.
Welcome. Ito nga pa aking world na hindi ko pa rin full tapos.
Tingin. Di pa nga open yung domain.
Di pa.
Hindi pa open yung domain. 1, 2, 3. Medyo, yung dito sa Watatsumi, pinakamadaling buksan. Open lang yan.
Wait?
Ito
ba? Ito yung... Ito ba yung may mga electric thingy na kailangan mo galawin?
Actually, wala nakaharang dyan eh. You can open it now. Ay, may puzzle lang siya, pero madali lang yung puzzle. Like, literally.
Ang hindi ko ata magawa, like, isang part dun sa puzzle.
Gusto mo buksan?
Kaya hindi ko siya... Let's try. Tara.
Sige, tara.
I need help.
Ngayon ko lang napansin, meron na rin pala ako na sa Expedition. Mamaya ko na kukunin. Expedition.
Gets.
Okay, malalakad ba natin? Mimona ka naman eh. So, Mimona. Sana all po, Mimona.
Sana all, Mimona. May ayaka ka dyan eh.
Pag talaga nagpapili si MiHoYo ng 5-star. Alam na.
Sana. Please lang.
Sana, MiHoYo.
Baka naman pagbago is... Toot! Sorry. MiHoYo, please. Isa lang. We need that consolation.
At dahil napunta na rin naman tayo sa topic, no? Nababasa-basa din lang kasi nowadays. May ongoing kasi na protest. Protest ba? Ano ba tamang word?
Really?
Yeah,
Or
may ongoing...
online protest lang?
player community, nagrereklamo sila kasi yun nga, parang hindi yun yung ine-expect na
Disappointed
reward.
daw.
Yeah, very disappointed kasi anniversary na nga,
Pangit.
the player base is
Oo.
expecting a lot from them.
Yeah.
Tama naman yung sinabi ng isang YouTuber kasi parang ano daw, yung rewards ngayon, it's the same literally as the lantern, right? Like, yun din yung rewards nun. Ganun.
Ay, pareho lang.
Hmm.
Ayun ba yung may mga primo gems?
Yeah, 10 intertwined din kasi yung binigay nung time na yun eh. Oh my gosh,
Kulang
hindi pala pa siya
eh.
pwede ng co-op. Ay, hindi, joke. Wait, joke to.
Ah? Or
Click mo nga
may
to.
kailangan
Click
akong
mo nga
pindutin?
to. Ito.
Ay, tata. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Here specs. Press
Oh
F.
my gosh. Wala nga, hindi pwede ng co-op. Ang corny
Ayaw
naman
niya!
nun. Then, nawala yung compass thingies. Nandito kasi yun eh.
Ay, oo.
Dito yun
Tapos
sa mga dito.
itutupak. Ito mo ba
Yeah.
itutupak? Yan.
Mm.
Ito
Ito yung
pala.
pinakamadali na i-open. Kasi pag nababa mo na yung tubig, yun, nandun yung domain.
So,
Pero
ganun
anyway,
lang
sige,
siya?
that's for you to open na lang siguro on another day.
Woo!
Wala eh.
Woo!
Ganun talaga.
Woo!
Saan tayo pa-farm?
Woo! Na-enjoy ko mag-dive CA.
Wow!
Dive. Okay. Saan nga ba tayo mag-farm? I
Saan nga
need
ba?
artifacts or
Ay.
Zhongli's talent.
Zhongli. Okay. Gold. Okay.
Meron pa naman ako 40 ngayon, so I can do 2 rounds. Tapos sumaya, let's use Fragile Resin for artifact domain.
Ano artifact? Ay, yung ano ba to? Shiminawa emblem? Which one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shimina.
Alright.
Okay.
Sige. Doon na tayo sa talent
Chika.
ni...
Ano
Yan.
saan na ulit
Okay.
yun?
Dito yun sa
Taishan
may ano.
Mansion?
Yeah, Taishan Mansion.
Alright.
Sige, pag
Grabe,
teleport ka
philosophy.
dyan, kunin ko lang yung expedition ko.
Okay, sure.
Ano yun? Ano yung sasabihin mo pala? Sorry, nakat ko bigla.
Yung philosophy sa gold ko, sobrang kulang. 1 digit lang siya. Tapos
Ala!
kailangan ko 16.
16! Oh! Ay, wait!
Yeah.
Crowning na, no? Per crowning na rin. Nice. Per
Yep,
crowning.
crowning.
Yes, may mora.
Mora ko ngayon, 1,900,000.
Wow! What? Sana all po. May
Sobrang
mura.
konti na lang. Mababawasan pa to ng 700k. Oh, di ba? Wala.
So, no, may mura. No ba yun? Na-crown ko si Zhongli. Kanina umaga lang yun, no? I mean,
Oo,
na-crown ko siya. Yun yung pinag-ipunan ko buong week.
so nag-farm ko.
Kasi wala na talaga mura. Ubus na talaga.
Talagang kay Johnny pa tumapat yung walang more.
Kaya nga eh, no? Parang very ironic. Very ironic.
Arcon na nga, wala pa siyang pera. So, okay. Gagastos na natin.
Join na ulit ako sa world mo.
Sure.
Alright. O sige, habang nagpa-farm tayo, discuss natin yung anniversary. So, it's on 28. And hindi ako sure kasi binigit ko kanina. Hindi din ako sure kung anong schedule. Pero di ba merong live stream ang Mihoyo? Yung live stream daw sila sa 28 regarding sa anniversary. Ngayon, may nababasa na akong articles na nag-hope sila na sana may ma-announce daw regarding sa anniversary rewards, 2.2, etc. Pero we know kasi yung regarding sa stream nila for version 2.2, it's if they follow this schedule, it will be on Friday.
Cindy.
Yeah.
Ay!
It will be this coming Friday, actually. Yeah. It will be this coming Friday. Ngayon, kung if time permits, we can also do a follow-up na discussion regarding. Pero that's to be that's to be assessed pa kung mangyayari or hindi. Pero thank you so much yung mga nanonood ngayon and sumusubaybay sa atin ngayon. Thank you so much to them. Welcome.
Ano ba itong gamit ko? Or mag-Bennett ako or whoever. Leona?
It's your choice.
Hindi ko alam eh.
Uy, may nag-hi sa'yo, Z.
Sino? Hello?
May nag-hi sa'yo sa chat.
Hello? Kung sino man siya. Hello? Ay ba?
Uy, mabuti na lang marami tayong concurrent viewers right now. So, welcome sa inyo. Mona! Gusto ko ng
Laro na
Mona.
rin kayo, Genshin!
Yes. Ay, nag-promote?
Yes.
Sponsored by MiHoYo, ganun.
Hoyo. I work at Mihoyo talaga. Taga-ano ako.
Ikaw mag-i-start.
Taga-hawak
Ikaw
ko
mag-i-start.
slime. Pala.
Tagahawak ko slime.
Yung slime na balloon nila.
Oo nga, ang cute nun.
Ay,
Gusto ko
cute
ng ganun.
naman.
Gusto ko ng ganun.
Diba?
True.
So parang siya fluffy.
Yes.
Tapos dito pa siya sa pintuan.
Ay, hindi ka siya sa pinto. Yung beam na yun. Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Alright.
Wow.
59
Wow.
seconds.
Sakto.
That's quick. No, that's quick.
Lakas-lakas ni Ayakay.
Hindi, malakas talaga yung Mona at Raiden Shogun, no? Raiden Shogun, naka 5 star pa yan, no?
Punta ka na DPS to eh. Mas DPS po yung Ayakay niya eh. Pareho pala tayong A.
May nagtatanong sa chat. Questions regarding sa artifacts. Go lang. We'll address them. Please do, please do. Move ko lang yung window para kita ko yung mga tinatype. Okay. Ayan. Yes, please do. By the way, we have delay pala sa stream. I think it's 5 seconds. So, yung naririnig nyo, it's literally 5 seconds from the past.
Yeah.
So, hindi real time yung nababasa namin yung chat and all. You have to wait for 5 seconds before kami makareact. Ayun. Okay. That's a good question. Wait lang. Sagutin natin yan after na itong round na to.
Okay.
Basahin ko yung question later.
Wow.
Mora! Ayan. Tapos.
Borax.
Okay. So, basahin natin yung question. What do I prioritize? The set bonus or yung artifacts with better substats? That's a good question, di ba? That's a really good question. That depends on where you are in the game. So, binanggit ko kanina early in the stream, we have the early game, mid game, and late game. Pag early game ka, you usually wala kang pake or ganun. Usually don't care about the stats or usually, of course, you need to build your character pero not to the extent na sobrang seryoso or something, no? So, you can do muna siguro, prioritize your stats muna siguro or sets sa maalin man. You can't go wrong sa early game. Kasi ang focus ng early game is story and exploration. Siguro what benefits your exploration, kung ano yung usual na kalaban mo, yun, dun mo i-build yung character mo. Mid game, dito na tayo medyo nagkakatalo. Ano bang unahin mo? Sets or yung stats? Magsisimula ka pa lang kasi mag-farming yan. Or yung patapos na nung phase ng mid-game, entering ka late game. Sa late game kasi, set ang habol doon. Set. And stats. Habol yun. Sabay.
Parang artifacts ng pagkano.
Sabay yun, di ba, Z? Sabay sila. Kapag pag late game, sabay yun. Both sets ang habol mo and stats. Hindi enough yung set. Mabuo mo lang yung set. Dapat maganda yung stat. Pero for mid-game, na halimbawa mag-start ka na artifacts ganun, save mo yung magaganda ang stats. Yun muna. Unahin yung stats muna. Kapag may set ka, very good. That's a cherry on top of the cake. Pero prioritize my stat for mid-game. And then for late game, both sets and stats. Pero usually sa late game, inuuna yung sets. Kasi ako, pangit yung build ko kay Ayaka, literally. This is not the best build I have for Ayaka. Kasi hindi ako full set ng Blizzard. And hindi din stats ang prioritize ko. Or rather, may stats, pero ang pangit talaga na stats ko. Literally, the worst Ayaka build you can see out there. Max Ayaka build na pangit. Kasi, tinan mo, lahat ng artifacts ko may def, except yung flower ko, which is HP naman, and flat attack. Ang pangit talaga. Pangit talaga. May headroom pa ako for building Ayaka. Pero wala akong fragile resin. So, ayun. By the way, Z, you can start naman. Habang dumadaldal tayo.
Alright.
Yeah.
Hintay ko. Oo.
Sino dadali mo? Si Klee?
Yay!
Okay.
Wait, feeling ko mas malakas-clean mo.
Ikaw. Depende sa'yo.
Bennett na lang siguro ako.
Sure? Sige.
Ito na lang siguro. Ikaw na, sino naman clean?
Wait, ano ipapalit mo kay Klee?
Hindi ko lang ka lang.
Ha?
ko rin alam. Wala
Okay.
akong tinong character.
Sino pa ba meron ka? Wait lang. Wala din ako maisip eh. Kahit mag-click ka, okay lang.
Hindi mo talaga
Kaya
siya
ka na lang
maano.
dadaling ko.
Sige. Sige. Jung. Okay.
Yeah.
Chigo.
Okay. I hope nasagot namin yun. Ay, Z, magbigay ka din pala ng insight mo regarding dyan. Kahit dapat hindi lang ako yung nasagot ng tanong, no? Regarding sa artifact.
Actually, same thoughts eh. Kasi ganun din ginawa ko nung early game. Nag-focus muna ako sa stats before focusing sa sets. Kasi hindi pa talaga ako marunong nun.
Oh, yes.
Same. Kung paano gawin yung set na yan. So, sabi ko, siguro mas magandang unahin kong stat para like, meron ka ng starter na gamit. So,
Yeah. True, di ba? Tas,
pag nag-bin-gate ka, mas maganda talaga. Mag-farm ka na for the sets.
yes, I agree. Tsaka, don't make the common mistake ng building starter characters. Like, you're going to use them until the end of the game. Kasi, although you're a simp for example, core Kea, no? Eh, unless you have Constellation 1 on the starter characters, it's really hard for you to use them until the end and late game. Ayan. It's definitely possible. Pero you'll be better off with other characters. Stat-wise. Meta-wise. Ayan. Ayun. Thank you, Z. Thank you, Z, for reinforcing. Yan, yung ating thoughts regarding dun sa artifacts.
Pero ngayon dahil sobrang hirap mag-farm. Stats mo.
Yeah.
Ay, sets na lang.
Sets na lang. Oh, mas madali mag-build ng sets kaysa sa stats. Kasi yung stats, gacha kalaban mo dun eh.
So,
I mean, gacha din naman kalaban mo sa
everything's
sets. Pero may
gacha.
makukuha ka.
At least.
Ouch.
Ang bilis talaga ng... Wow. Ay. Nakainis to. Ang kulit niya.
Kaya nga eh. So true.
Kahit saan siya nagdadabog.
Lagi na lang, no?
Oo. Ayan o.
Never
Sorry,
done.
Klee.
Ala, Klee. Narinig ko yung iyak ni Klee.
Ano si Klee? No!
Oh, may nag-chat! Oh my gosh. Sabi niya, ano daw, late game na daw sila. Late game player. Okay, pag late game player, yun nga, as we said before, prioritize your sets and stats at the same time. Pag late game, prioritize. Kasi, having the sets only, it's not enough. Pero it's definitely, it's much more achievable. If you have the set, it's much more achievable. Pero stats talagang hahabulin mo. Lalo na for main DPS. For support sets, yes. Yes, for support characters. As in, purely support mo lang sila, sets are much better option.
Oo, mas maganda.
Pero for DPS, only give them the best. Yan. For
Yan,
DPS.
yan.
Wala pa akong burst ni Ayaka. Oh my gosh. Wala pa. Eh, sige. Ah, okay na.
Oh no! Sige. Ano?
Ano ba basically? No!
I'm very sorry! No!
Oh, Clay!
Ano? Wait lang! Hindi ko... Wait lang, kailangan ko palang kumain.
Sure.
Gamit yung NRF ko. NRE. I'm sorry,
NRE. Yeah. Understandable.
I am so sorry. Ngayon na lang ulit ako, basically.
Oh, no.
Sana'y ako masyadong may longit. Di na
Oo
ako
nga. Gusto mo
nagda-dodge.
ikaw na lang mag-jongli. Baka...
Hindi,
mahirapan
okay
ka
lang
eh.
yan.
Sure ka?
Okay lang.
Okay lang.
Ikaw
Okay.
na.
Sige.
Di naman siguro mabubusog si Klee sa pagkain. Andiyan naman si Bennett.
Bennett.
Kahit ang pangit pa ng build ko sa kanila. Sige, okay na yan kahit pa paano.
Yeah. Also, may ongoing ding topic sa chat, no? So, regarding sa weapons, I'd like to share my thoughts. With regards, halimbawa, late game ka na, which is better for star, 5-star weapons. I honestly believe you don't need a 5-star weapon to play the game.
Same time. Oo, same.
Yeah, yun. You don't need
Minsan
a
mas
5-star.
maganda pa yung stats.
Yeah, there are
4-star.
literally highlightable na 4-star weapons na magaganda. And yung bagong labas, yung Dakach, it's it's off the charts sa value niya. Uy!
I'm so sorry.
Yay! Nakuha na! Biala na! Yakli! Oh no!
Narinig na yung iyak ni Cleo.
Wow!
Skill
Nice.
tayo
Nice,
dyan.
nice.
Wow.
Wow!
Lakas ng skill ni Ayaka. Nakaka-40.
Hindi, gawa talaga yun ng Bennett buff mo. Gawa talaga ng Bennett buff mo. Oo, legit yun, legit yun. Bennett buff mo talaga yun.
Kahit wala. Kahit walang buff.
Hindi, tsaka naka-resonance ka ngayon ng Pyro. Naka-resonance ka ng Pyro. So, increase
Pero
yung
okay
attack
naman
natin.
mo.
Uy, taas ang attack ni Ayaka. What? What?
Kailan?
2,700.
Oo!
Naka-resonance, tapos, ewan ko kung aftermath ng buff. Baka lang, baka. Aftermath ng buff.
Ayos din.
Wait lang, 5-star weapon gamit mo kay Bennett ngayon?
Nope. 4-star gamit ko.
Akala ko may sword ka na 5-star. Akala ko lang naman.
Wala. Ako nakuha ko yung Claymore.
Okay.
Skyward Pride. Hindi ko nakuha yun. Sorry.
Pero nakuha mo yung ano.
Lock tayo na eh.
Lock nga ba?
Talaga
Lock nga ba?
makapaniwala.
Lock nga
Talaga
ba?
makapaniwala bakit biglang nagkaroon. Wait lang.
Ay, Clay! Oo nga pala, Z. Kailan tayo magra-Ride and Shogun review?
Ride and Shogun review? Pwede naman sa next.
Ay, next na daw.
Stream.
Bongga.
Carry na
Next
yan.
stream, carry na. Sige.
Kapag inayos ko na yung artifacts niya, parang wala lang.
Yay!
Para-
Sana all pa maayos sa artifact. Sana
Hindi ko talaga maayos ang aking artifacts. Ang dami ko pong death. At HP. Hindi naman kailangan yung 8.
Normal na talaga yon. I mean, ayun. Pahirapan ng buhay. I mean, yung isang benchmark ko na sinasabi ko na sa'yo dati pa, Z, di ba? Pag alam mo pangit yung mga artifacts na nakuha mo, pag yung defense mo beyond 1,000 na, or reaching 1,000. Kasi ako ngayon kay Ayaka, 918 yung defense ko. Kay Zhongli, 827. Sino ba yung mataas ang defense ko? Kasi yun ang benchmark ko eh. Pag marami kang defense, di ba? Your defense stat, highly affected. So, ayun. Unless kung HP maganda yung sa ibang characters like Zhongli,
Yeah, ayun lang.
ginagamit ng marami daw nagamit ng Black Tassel kay Zhongli.
Ay, oo.
Yung 3-star na HP. So,
Nakaano na rin ata. Ay, hindi pa siya naka-refine, pero level up.
kay kay Albedo, marami na gamit ng Harbinger of Dawn, which is another 3-star weapon.
Ayun? Ano yung ano niya? Status?
Crit damage, I think. Crit damage, I believe. 3-star yun, ha?
Is there really no crit damage? Wow.
Yeah, meron. Actually, may isa pang magandang weapon na I keep in my inventory. Wait lang, I'll show it in a bit.
Okay.
Trying ko lang si Ayaka. Pero yung isang matagal ko nang inaabangan ng another 3-star, kaso feeling ko nakakain palagi pag nagle-level up ako eh. Yung halberd, gusto ko matesting to. Although hindi siya popular weapon or like wala kang makikitang guide na nagre-reference dito. Pero kung makikita mo yung passive niya, normal attacks deal an additional 160% attack as damage. That's at refinement 1. So you can imagine, you can really maximize this out. Siguro we can consider that on another stream, no? Starter 3-star weapons. Kasi yung isa sa mga malaging naririnig ko ay twin Nephrite. Ayun. Ano pa ba? Yung Sharpshooter's Oath, okay din. Kung nagsisimula ka pa lang sa game talaga. Yun yung mga starter weapons na may re-recommend ko talaga. Yung Harbinger of Dawn, crit damage. Ganda yan. And ito ang hindi dapat mawawala sa inventory nyo, guys. Don't forget to lock Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayers. Don't forget to lock this weapon. It's really good. Pang buff yan. Any catalyst will be a buff.
Ang gamit ng games. Si Barbara ba yung usual gamit?
Dapat kay Barbara mo yung equip. Ganda yung equip kay Barbara. Yeah.
Talagang dami ko may barber. Kailangan si barber.
Pero pagka tracer weapons, ang rule of thumb, don't level it up past level 70 kasi mataas na yung
Yes.
diminishing returns. Di mo naman i-DPS. Hindi mo naman ipang DPS yung weapons na yan.
Sayangin yung
You're there for their passives. O kaya yung substats nila. Yun yung what you're after. Not really the maximum damage. My gosh. Di na pala natin napag-usapan pa ulit yung anniversary, no? Pero, ayun nga, a lot of players are disappointed regarding the rewards and etc. And there's that ongoing drama. Ayun, hoping na lang na sana may mangyari on their actual anniversary since may stream naman sila.
Yun lang, may event ba? May special event
Yes,
ba?
actually may event tomorrow na
28?
magsisimula. Tandaan mo yung
Tomorrow.
yung kay Keching at kay Xiangling, yan. Yung
yeah.
Yung
tomorrow pa.
Moon Chase ba tawag? Hindi ko alam eh. Moon Festival, something like that. Lunar something festival. Tomorrow yun mag-i-start. Tapos wala ka pa kanina nung simulan nung stream Z pero i-catch up kita. Merong server maintenance October 1. 600 Primo Gems ang compensation.
Yay!
Yay!
Wait, why? Bakit
Actually, I don't know. Di nila ni-reveal kung baka sila magsa-server maintenance na maaga.
Gosh.
Pero, if I were to speculate, events. Or, baka dumating nga yung libreng 5-star. Baka lang naman, mihoyo.
You?
Wala. Yung libreng 5-star.
Oh!
Baka naman. Asa-asa tayo dyan. Baka naman dumating na, mihoyo. Z, yung Abyss Mage.
Oh, no. Yeah. Hi. Si Cliff!
Oh, no. Tatalsik na naman tayo dyan.
So talaga, pag nag-reverse ka, hindi ka natatamaan. Ayos.
Kaya nga, iframe. Yes.
Yun lang yung another defense ko.
Yes. Tama yung sinabi ni Z. It should be...
So, 4-star lang ba yun? Or it works on 4 stars din?
I think it works on 4 stars din kasi I see YouTubers using them on 4 stars. I think yes. It works on everyone. As far as I know. Mas maano lang. Parang feeling ko mas matagal lang yung iframe pag 5 star kasi tagal ng animation nila. Feeling ko lang. We'll have to test it out sometime. O yun, live stream idea na yun.
Pag ilang round na natin to at lahat ng 5-star na kukuha ko yung Shimenawa.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Baka sign na yan, may gagamit niyan.
Sino kaya?
Sino kaya?
Wala akong nakukuhang 5-star na emblem. Ang sad. It's so sad.
Okay lang yan, Z. Ibig sabihin yan bukas makakuha ka na. Ibig sabihin lang.
Natis. Bukas. Weekly boss tayo bukas.
Yes.
Yola. Ito talagang mahirap pag nag-farm eh.
Alam mo ako, tatry ko na gagawin ko na lahat para libre na yung Friday ko para sa live stream for 2.2. Most likely hindi ako makaka-attend sa mismong anniversary kasi may pasok nun eh.
Oo, ayun. Sa ganda.
Yeah!
Lakas talaga!
Nag-buff yung tile.
Ang galing.
Kita nyo ba yun, guys?
Lakas
nung buff nung tile, tapos yung Bennett pa. Oh my gosh. And we're done.
Wow!
Grabe yung domain to. Anyway. Ano pa mo masasabi sa anniversary? Kasi, to be honest, yun nga yung problem eh. We don't know anything about the anniversary. Kumbaga, even the community, they just know there's an ongoing web event. Tas yun yung nababash ngayon. Yun yung nababash.
Pero, ito yung comments na yung nakikita ko din regarding the anniversary.
Yeah. Yun yung problem eh. Kasi...
Tapos may gacha rin. Tapos may mamimigay na
Parang,
ano ba yun?
Parang 10% of the 10% of the participants 10%. Lang yung winners, ganun.
Grabe talaga.
May gacha
Bakit
pa.
ganun ka baba? I mean,
kaya nga eh.
Ang
And
dami
actually,
ko.
may point din yung sinabi ng isang YouTuber na napanood ko na parang separate daw kasi yung group of persons na nag-handle ng web events versus yung in-game events and etc. Iba sila. Iba yung nag-handle na. Pero I cannot say for sure. What I can say for sure is masyadong no, parang kasi naman, ang liit nga naman ng rewards. Mababash talaga sila. Mababash talaga. Here's to hoping. Kung hindi man
Makita
apology,
nila
at
yung
least,
concerns ng mga tao.
yeah, yung
Oh,
concerns. Ayun.
Apology
Yes,
video.
the concerns of the people, the Genshin. Kasi right now pa lang, no, with the ongoing drama and all, mukhang marami na nagkukit ng game eh.
No.
Just because of that, issue nga kasi nag-i-invest ka nga naman sa isang game. Bakit hindi nakikinig yung developer this time? It's really
Taas na expectations.
that's really problematic. Pinag-chat, sabi sa'yo Z, sana all Shiminawa, need ko, pero puro emblem drops. Alam ni Mihoyo paano tayo pahirapan.
Sa'yo na lang. Hindi ko to kailangan.
Sa'yo
Wala
na
ako
lang
niya
daw.
yung Mia. Oh.
Oo nga, napaparm siya for Yoimiya. Uy, emblem? Ganda stat. Share naman
Yeah,
dyan.
crit damage ang main stat.
Wow!
Ang substats niya, attack, energy recharge, and crit rate,
Obo!
and defense.
Hindi, pero at least, cream of the crop.
Defense.
Okay na yan. Sana all po crit damage, crit rate, tas ay isang artifact. Grabe, tas energy recharge pa. Bo! Pwede. Pwede, emblem pa. Right
Ano?
and Shogun DPS.
Wait, try ko nga siyang
Nilevel up mo na ngayon.
Hindi
Sige,
ko
go.
po siya, hindi ko po siya ganun.
Mora mo, ha?
Hanggang
Watch
sa
out.
weakest. Oo nga pala, wala. Unti na rin lang pala ng pang-level up ko ng RT.
Oo. Ah, wait, what? Heroes Week?
No. Hindi, wala na akong mga enhancement materials.
Oh.
Kulang na ako.
Ooh.
Ito ang problems ng AR-50.
Yeah, problem ng late game players na hindi whalers.
Na hindi pa talaga yun.
Hindi po kami whalers. Yan, sa mga nanonood. Kasi marami nata nanonood ngayon. Hindi po kami whaler. We are, ano ba to? We categorize as goldfish. Yan.
Goldfish.
Goldfish. Yung mga nagsuspend ng onti lang. Hindi sobrang whalers. Hindi sobrang
Yeah.
whalers. Yeah.
Hindi
Yung mga blessing of the Welkin Moon.
Siguro.
Ganun.
Oo.
Ayun, blessing of the Welkin Moon. Basta nakapag-blessing of the Welkin Moon ka, baka pwede kitang tawaging goldfish. Ayan.
Oh no.
Why?
So
Bakit?
defense siya nag-level up. 12.4! No!
Percent. Sige, tayo mo pa. Isa pa. Baka sakali. Tumigil ka na pagka yung sumunod. Alam na. Bakit?
Ayoko nang i-jing. Sana defense.
Hoy, Jinx!
Hindi, para opposite.
Go. Reverse psychology. Go.
Oo.
Lalap lang pang level up
Okay.
ng artifact. Okay.
Ay, joke. Hindi ko pala abot.
Di aabot. Ay, kulang. Ganun.
Ano siya? Attack.
Uy, nice! Nice!
Okay na siguro na.
Okay na yun. Yes.
Okay, sige.
Na-percentage yan, no?
Gagamitin ko na to.
Walang flat stats dyan. Tama ba?
Yeah, puro percentage.
Nice! Swerte ka in that regard. Generally, pangit ang flat stats. Kahit ano yan. Except elemental mastery, no? Kasi wala namang percentage ang elemental mastery eh. Pero, except elemental mastery, anything flat stat is bad. Substat. Bad. Dapat percentage talaga as much as possible. Yeah.
Wait, la-level up ko ulit siya. Baka sakali lang naman.
Sure.
Ay, drop ko lang.
Hello po sa mga nanonood pa din.
Great!
Nakikita ko na, no, mas mahaba to usually sa mga, sa previous streams. Kasi, di ba nakwenta ko naman sa Z last stream, hindi ako nakapag-go live. Dumadaldal na ako ng 20 minutes. Hindi pala ako naka-live. Lala. Ano ako doon. Medyo, nawaw, mali ako doon eh. Hahaha, Tendo Bajo ka. Yes naman. No. Ay! Ay! No.
Parang,
Alam mo, ang hilig nitong tumalon. Ang hilig nito mag-exercise.
hindi ko siya nag-exercise.
Uy! Ouch. Ayun, patay na si Mr. Big Guy.
Isang ayakas yun nga dyan. Lakas niya.
Ako na na-realize, nag-ehe pala si Lee. Ehe?
Uwe?
Hindi, parang hindi kagaya ni Venti, pero hehe, parang gano'n. Hihi. Something like that.
Cute. Okay, siya minawalat. Feeling ko wala na.
May nag-chat sa,
Wow.
may nag-chat ulit. Babasahin ko yung mga chat para naman active tayo. Ayan. Ano daw, share ko lang, I have crit rate and crit damage substats pero nag-roll lahat sa flat HP. I have 1k flat HP. Ayoko na.
Oh no! Grabe! Ang sakit naman nun!
Ganyan talaga ang farming. Pero kaya yan.
Ang sakit!
Fighting lang sa artifact farming. Fighting lang.
Kaya mo yan.
Mahirap talaga ang artifact farm.
Alam
na yan.
Kung may zombie ka sa kanya na lang.
Oo nga, no? Beneficial yung kay Zhongli. Lalo na, 1k pa yung 1k na flat HP.
Oo.
Laki increase din yung kay Zhongli.
Grabe. Consider it. Masarap na sila ng sa anong creative. Wow. Sa HP pa talaga. Tama talaga yung Hoya. What? Ayaw matanggalan.
Naglag yung computer ko, oh my gosh, for a sec. Naglag yung computer ko. Hindi ko alam kung naapektuhan yung stream. Pero, we'll know later. We'll see later. Naririnig pa naman kita so hindi naman nawala na internet.
Yo.
Naglag yung PC ko for a sec. Ayun, kita ko.
Kaya pala parang nawala ka.
Yeah. Sorry. I think nag-ano din yung voice ko. Pero ayun, okay naman.
Wow!
Wow! Ano? Ano nakuha mo?
Flower of Life na emblem. Crit rate at damage.
Wow!
Tapos may defense.
Ay. Walang fourth substat. Walang fourth.
Wala. Tatlo lang
Okay.
siya.
May chance pa.
Level up ka ba?
Ikaw, tignan mo kung saan magro-roll yung last. Sinaswerte ka kanina I mean, syempre malas sa una, pero sinaswerte din later on. You never know.
Nga
Hmm.
Okay. Level up ka lang.
Sure.
Sabi, more ako. Bababay na sa akin.
Nagbababay, be.
Uubusan na ako talaga.
Babay mo.
May broke era. Uy, elemental mastery. Ano ba to?
Elemental mastery? Kanina mo gagamitin ka Raiden Shogun? Okay na din.
Burn. SH. Sa elemental mastery siya nag-level up. No!
Elemental mastery siya nag-level up. Okay na din kung magpo-proc ka lagi ng reactions. I think you'll be doing that most of the time naman Kuproc ka ng reactions. Okay na yun kaysa naman defense.
True. Sige, okay naman. Okay, ulit. Sa pang-level up. Haha, ayoko na. Elemental mastery na naman.
Pang ilan na yan na roll? Pangatlo na, no? Sige, tigil mo na yan. Pero huwag mo munang i-dump. Baka may gumamit.
Dalawang rolls lang. With damage rate.
Yeah. Wait. Chotomate. Ay! Hindi, okay lang. I was just checking yung status nung ano. I was just checking yung status nung stream. Okay naman. Yo, what? Ang hilig talaga niya mag-exercise Nice, nag-crit si Zhongli. Ang baba kasi ng crit rate ko kay Zhongli. 77.
Nice.
Hehehe. With Bennett buff.
Hindi yata tumama sa Bennett buff.
With Bennett buff. Of course.
Sure. Okay na yun.
Yes. Baba ng crit rate ko, literally kay Zhongli. Ilan na ba ginagastos?
Ako din, nababa. Nakatatlo na ako.
Oh. Pero ilan na nakuha mo out of the 9? Ay, hindi, sorry. Tama, 9 rounds. After the 9 rounds, ilan na nakuha mo magandang artifact? Dalawa, no?
Dalawa
At
lang.
least?
Mm-mm.
Very least. So,
Okay,
2
at
out of
least
9.
meron. Yeah. 2 out of 9. Really hurts. Bigay, ano ko na lang siguro. Gagawin kong na-bless yung
Reroll, yes.
yeah, reroll.
Na-advocate ko yan kay Weeb lagi. Sabi ko, Weeb,
Reroll.
magano ka. Sabi niya, hindi daw siya swerte sa reroll. Kahit hindi ka swerte sa reroll, I mean, that's good. That's good pa rin,
Yeah,
nakakapag-reroll ka. Reroll ulit. You wanna fight us? You wanna fight us? Wow, yes naman. Lakas nung Raiden Shogun na yun, no? Deads, oh.
Hindi pa? Hindi build pa?
Sana by the time na mag-Raiden Shogun review na tayo, ready na.
Yep, sana.
Yes.
Sana naman maayos yung artifacts.
I think may mga nag-aabang nun eh. May mga nag-aabang nung Raiden Shogun review. Kasi last week, sinabi ko, hindi pa ready yung Raiden Shogun review. So, yeah.
Raiden Shogun. Yes. Raiden Shogun as support. Hindi po talaga main DPS.
Oh, hindi to main DPS. Ganda-ganda ng weapon. Hindi mini-main DPS. Kita mo, novelty pa weapon mo. No, signature weapon pala. Yan ang mas better natin.
Wow! Signature weapon.
Signature weapon. Wala eh. Pangit talaga ng build ko pa kay Raiden Shogun. Kasi wala akong fragile res. So, dun talaga short-handed.
Build. Gamit mo ba yung the catch?
Gamit. Hindi pa eh. Kasi hindi ko pa nale-level up ng buo. Pero sige nga, magamit nga siya. Wait. Hindi kasi kanina ko lang siya naayos ulit. Kanina ko nakapag-farm ng Ascension Materials. Level 80 na pala siya. Pwede ko siyang gamitin kay Raiden. Kasi hindi ko pa... Nag-fishing ka ba? Ay, hindi. Di mo nga pala kailangan ng the catch. Pwede ba ako mag-fish? Kulang na lang ako ng unti eh. Wait nga lang.
Oo, hindi talaga ako nag-fish world ko. Hindi ako marunong.
Bakit? Hindi ka pa ba dumadaan sa tutorial? Di ba record yun?
Ginawa ko na yung event. Tapos, ulit ako nag-fish.
Hindi ka na ulit nag-fish. I see. Ako din naman eh. Actually, nag-fish lang ulit ako kanina lang, literally. Kasi naisipan ko lang. Sabi ko, parang gusto ko nang kunin yung dakatch. Yung refinement, rather. Ayun. Kaya nag-chat din ako sa mga ilan kong friends. Sabi ko, pwede ba ako mag-fish sa world mo? Kasi, ano na talaga ako. Pa-fish po. Ano na lang naman ang kulang ko eh. I think 8 na lang na pufferfish. Bitter pufferfish. To be exact. Yun na lang kulang ko siya. By the way, you can fish in my world just in case dumating na yung time na ikaw naman yung nakakailangan mag-fish. Kasi kahit naka 5-star weapon ka kay Raiden, maganda yung Takach kay Zhongli eh.
Oo, nga.
Kung di man kay Zhongli, kay Xiangling. Ayan. May gagamit ng Takach.
Si Toma ba?
Si Toma, ang sabi sa mga leak, sa HP nag-i-scale, may shield siya.
Ay, really?
Yun ang sabi. Pero, hindi ko alam kung main spot ni Toma ang burst eh. Pero kung kasama naman ng burst, hindi maganda ang Dakach kay Toma. Stay tuned pala doon kasi si Weeb, kukunin niya si Toma, no? So, we'll have an overview din regarding kay Toma on the later episodes of our stream.
We need that.
By the way, congratulations, Z. Kasi pang-apat na natin itong live stream. So, that means 1 buwan na tayo nagla-live stream.
Oh?
Yes.
Apat na to?
Yes, pang-4 na tayo. And consistent, no? Consistent. By the way, sa mga nanonood po sa amin and yung mga nanonood na replay, you can check out other videos in this channel. Ang pinapromote ko recently is yung burst animation ni Ayaka. Ay, Ayaka tuloy. Sorry. Ni Yoimiya. Yan. Shoot by Min. Check nyo na lang siya. It's actually one of our most popular videos so far.
Galing nga eh.
Yep. Sabi ko kay Weeb, pwede tayong mag-shoot ng panibago. By the way,
pwede din pala mag-fish?
Yes, pwede din naman.
Pwede pala dalawa?
Yes,
isa lang.
pwede naman.
Sige, kunwari meron naman.
Kunwari meron.
Ito lang kukunin ko yung pinakamadali.
Alam mo ba, yung inuhuli ko ngayon, hindi nga to pwedeng ipampalit sa Dakach. I mean, pufferfish siya, pero
Ah,
ornamental siya. Yung pang
ay, boy.
Serenity Pot. Yung mga natalon-talon, pang Serenity Pot yun.
Ay, may ganun. May ibig
Yeah.
sabihin pala yun.
Yung
Wow.
mga natalon-talon, yung mga active na isda. Pang ano yun? Pang Serenity Pot yun. Okay, next location tayo.
Bye-bye.
Hmm.
Ay, my fishies.
Oo nga pala, maraming salamat sa mga sumubaybay up until this point. I think we are running beyond an hour na right now and wala namang hitchhike. Hindi na nagda-drop yung internet connection, thank God. Although
Yes,
mababa pa rin yung
fishes.
connection, pero thank God talaga. May nag-chat? Oo, napasali mo ka ni Klee sa animation burst ni Ayaka. Ah, yes, nakita ko nga kanina. Yeah. I'm having
Yan.
ideas.
Oh,
Sabi, may nag-chat din. Oh, yes, fishing. Penge fish.
yes, get fish. Go lang.
Go lang, yes. You can even join my world.
Parang ganun. Feeling ko talaga, hindi ko kailangan ng fish.
Kasi naman may 5-star ka na namang weapon eh. Hindi mo pa immediately kailangan yung Dakach. Pero in the future, for sure.
Para saan pa
kukunin mo
ba
yun.
yung fishes? Eh, ano pwede mo magawa?
Well, obviously, pwede mo silang kainin. Yung itatranslate mo sila ganun. Itatransmit mo sila into fish, yung panilutuin. Or, other than that, ornamental lang siya for, Serenity Pot, ganun. Yun lang nakikita kong use case. So far. For sure naman kapag na isip-isip ang miyoyo, baka dagdagan nila ng pakinabang yung fishing. Pero kasi medyo,
Okay.
kasi yung fishing ngayon eh. Gimmick kasi siya eh. Hindi naman siya required. Di ka naman mag-miss out ng marami kapag di ka nag-fish. Okay lang kung di ka mag-fish. Ganun din naman sa Serenity Pot. So, depende na yung kay Mihoyo. Kasi pag ginawa nilang mandatory, baka lang makagalitan ng mga tao yung fishing eh. Ang hirap kasi mag-fish talaga. Siguro, one thing they can improve is yung one thing they can improve is yung catching mechanism. Although, I understand naman, tinatry nilang gayahin yung paano talaga mag-fish. Ganon. Pero, hindi kasi practical yung ganito eh. Yung hahabulin mo yung meter. Ganon. Doon ako naiinis ngayon. Saka siguro kung hindi man yun ang ayusin nila yung number of fishes. Kasi ang bagal mag-respond ng fishes. Ang bagal nila mag-respond. Kaya, pero ang bagal mag-respond. Hulaan ko na lumabas yung cryo slime na, hindi ko kita eh.
Yup. Go lang. Fish ka lang dyan. Wala na
Actually,
sila.
pwede mong patayin si Traveler habang nag-fish. Hindi ko alam kung nakikita mo na yung mga meme video na ganun.
Patayin?
As in, mapupush sila habang nag-fish sila.
Pero mawawala yung fish, no?
Oh, unfortunately, yeah.
Aww.
Kaya nga binaban yung...
Sayang.
Merong video, title,
Kainis naman yung ganun.
True.
Ano yan?
May mga video na ang title, Why Zhongli is banned from co-op. Kasi napupush nung pillar ni Zhongli yung player na nag-fish. Okay, next, pufferfish location. We'll be closing our live stream in a bit. So, any closing na lang, any closing thoughts na lang pala, Z.
Any closing thoughts?
Kasi ngayon ka lang bumalik and...
Rewards.
Ayun nga, no? Kapag free ako, mag-start ako ng live stream. Pero you don't have to come naman if you're busy. I'll open a stream. If special stream. Pwede naman yun eh.
Oo.
Out of
Kasi
schedule.
special edit din. So,
Yes. Diba? We recall some of the features of the game and all. Walang pufferfish dito. Oh my gosh. Baguhin mo or as later pala. Okay lang. Wait.
yeah, sure.
Later mo na lang baguhin yung time.
Okay.
Later. Check ko lang muna lahat ng Check ko muna lahat ng location. So by the way, Z, punta ka nga dito. Check natin kung nakuha mo na yung chest dito. Kasi ako, alam mo, last week ko lang ata nakita yun or this week ko lang siya nakita. Sobrang, hindi naman hidden. Actually, in plain sight siya. Which makes it a tad bit difficult to find.
Kasi ano ba? Wood ba yan?
Nagbe-blend in sa paligid, parang gano'n. Actually, kahit gumamit na ako ng treasure compass, hindi ko alam kung bakit na-miss ko siya. Pero kung nakuha mo na yun, very good ka. Galing mo.
Yun.
Check ko lang kung nakuha mo na.
Yun ba yung sa taas?
Yeah.
Ay, hindi ko sure.
Nakuha mo na. Galing mo naman.
Oo
Actually,
na ba?
oo, nakuha mo na. Ang galing. Pero meron ditong precious chest. Alam mo, nung this week ko lang yun nakita. Actually, pinakita ko yung kay Weeb. Sabi ko, my gosh, meron pala dong chest na high value.
Satisfying. Kita ko tong chest.
Yeah. Like, dati naman nagamit na ako dito ng ano eh, ng ano, treasure compass. Pero
Oo,
hindi siya
yung
nag-a-appear. Hindi niya ako pinapupunta doon. So, ewan ko na lang talaga. Anong oras currently dito sa world mo?
It's 4-4.
4. Sige.
4-8. 9.
Sige,
10.
balik tayo dun sa ano, sa tama, Rito na fishing dock. Tapos, paset na lang ng time. Last na to, promise. Paset na lang ng time ng 8. Pag wala pa rin ng 8, dito 10. Mamaya, sabihin ko sa'yo pagka merong nag-spawn or wala.
Sige, go
Kapag
lang.
wala, di tough luck tayo. 8 o'clock.
Ano? Okay, 8 o'clock na.
Yep.
8. Okay, here.
Okay, nag-aantay ako. Walang nag-i-spawn. Ayun, meron! Yes! Nice, nag-spawn sila.
Ha?
Yeah, nag-spawn sila. So, apparently, fun fact lang, dito sa place na to, kasi nabasa ko lang din siya sa isang Hoyo Lab na article. So, it's not my idea. Pero, kita ko doon, between 8 o'clock to 16 o'clock dito, sa spot na to, yung isa first rotation, first cycle ng pufferfish. Tapos yung second cycle niya is 18 to, I think, 6 din. Parang ganun, half-half. So, you have to change the time if you want to maximize.
Nag-glitch yung fish.
Oh, glitch
Ba't ganyan? Nag-glitch sila habang gumagalaw.
Oh, no.
Parang silang sira. Oh, no.
Nangyayari yun. Actually, nakikita ko din yun sa ibang world. Yeah.
Ang creepy tuloy.
Yeesh.
Yun na nga po.
And anniversary na nga sa Tuesday. Yay! Excited ka na ba?
Yay.
Maklaim yung yung intertwined page sa day 1.
Hindi siguro. Okay na rin.
Saka, ayun.
I mean, at what cost? Kulang.
Di ba? May hoyo naman. Tatlo pa lang pala, bitter pufferfish. Ano ba yan? Check ko lang din sa isa natin pinuntahan kanina. Pag wala pa rin, I guess we'll be closing today. So, pag-usapan na lang natin, Z, off-cam tuloy, off-screen, off the stream, kung mag-special stream ba tayo sa anniversary or hindi. Kasi, ako, may klase ako nun, pero tingnan ko kung may sisingit ako. Uy, may chest nun, no?
Oh? Wait, where? Ilang percent? 74% wala ako dito.
Oh.
Baba ka rin.
Nice progress.
I guess. Nice.
Ito yung pinaka-dry na region sa Genshin ngayon. To be honest, nung kinilir ko tong area na to, ito yung pinaka-dry. Saka alam mo, di ba dun sa survey form ng MiHoYo, meron doon, ano yung kung dislikes and likes regarding sa bagong region. Actually, I dislike na yung color scheme kasi neto, di ba, puro purple lang. Oh, it's good. I mean, it represents Inazuma, pero sakit sa ulo pag matagal mo tinitingnan.
Oo nga.
Like, purple lang yung tint ng lahat dito sa lugar na to. Mahirap siya sa mata.
Basta taas ang masyado siyang light.
Yung, okay, sige,
Wait, parang namiss ko
mag-closing
tuloy
na
bigla
tayo.
mag-liway.
Oo, nagustuhan mo sa Liway. Uy, hindi mo mamimiss ang Liway kasi, mamimiss mo ang Liway or rather, babalikan mo yung Liway sa bukas. Kasi yung event bukas, pupunta ka sa Liway, di ba? Yung mga karamihan ng event for this week and next week ay sa Liway. Liway sa gagawin. Yes. Ay, mahirap kunin ata yung chest na yan. Ay, hindi mo yan makukuha kasi meron dyang compass thingies. Ganon. May compass thingies yan, pero nagdi-disappear kasi sila kapag co-op. Andyan ba? Kita ba? Hindi.
Yeah.
Oo, nagagawa
Ako,
mo. Nice.
wala akong ginawa. Nakalock pala siya, pero
Meron niyang compass thingies, I think. Maano lang yung pagka out of co-op. Single player pala, single player. Yun lang naman. I mean, we've done a lot in this.
yep.
Hindi natin masyado na-cover yung anniversary, pero that's the truth eh.
Yeah,
Wala din kasing ma-uncover na
wala pa.
details pa so far, no? Let's just wait for Mihoyo. And then, makikita nyo na lang schedule na yung live stream kung pwede man. Baka ako mag-solo lang ako pagka busy si Z. We'll see. We'll discuss regarding the anniversary on Tuesday. Happy anniversary, I guess.
Happy anniversary.
Happy
Happy.
anniversary. Happy ba? Happy ba yung player? Yoyo?
Anniversary na lang. Anniversary.
Anniversary!
Pag may surprise, happy na yan.
Sana, pag-surprise. Balitaan namin kayo, guys. Ayun lang naman, di ba, Z? Wala na ba tayo ibang i-cover or anything? Wala na.
Pag-ipon tayo info para sa next stream.
Next stream natin. By the way, naka-standby yung screen ko pero rinig pa rin yung audio natin. And babalik na ako sa world ko. Kasi wala na tayong gagawin, di ba? So information regarding sa next stream. Weekly pa rin. Sundays. Sundays pa rin tayo. That's consistent. Yung regarding sa Tuesday, ano yun, tentative pa yun, guys. Sobrang tentative pa nun. Kasi busy ang buhay. Busy ang buhay. Inulit ko. Busy ang buhay. Kaya, we're still not sure. Pero, eto siguro yung pwede ko din i-guarantee regarding sa schedule natin. On Friday, sa livestream for 2.2. Yun. Pwede natin i-cover yun. Kasi close to weekend naman siya. Close to weekend. Quote-unquote, close to weekend. So, yun. Z, thank you so much for joining today. Alam kong tight yung schedule mo and all. Thank you for joining me. Ang lively lang streaming natin ngayon. So, yeah, thank you so much. Ang dami nag-chat. Very lively. Lively yung chat. So, thank you po sa lahat ng mga nakisubaybay.
Thank you po. Sana po.
This is actually our longest stream yet. So, thank you so much.
Oh?
Thank you so much sa mga nanood. And sana yung mga nag-replay, thank you for replaying. Thank you for watching throughout the content. Although, out of nil kasi anniversary sana ipag-uusapan. Kaso, turns out, wala din tayo mapag-usapan regarding sa anniversary. So, siguro, palitan na lang natin. Dapat yung title nito is How to Spend Your Resins. Kasi, yun yung kinover dito. So, pwede ko na babaguhin yung title at yung thumbnail kasi it's too late. It's been live. So, ayun. At least alam na lang ng lahat. Ayun. Wala na bang hahabol sa chat? Wala na bang hahabol sa chat? Kasi, okay na. We'll be closing na. Thank you everyone. May sasabihin pa tayo. Wala naman kasi tayong outro eh. Wala naman tayong outro. And that has been, hindi tayo nag-introduce. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
And this has been Ray. This has been Ray.
And Z.
We're the originals. I mean, we are the original hosts of this channel. Crazy, di ba? I mean, napaka-ironic no? Hindi tayo complete in every stream. Pero, ayun, I'm glad to have you back, Z. Welcome back. Ayan. Thank you so much. Sana the next live stream no kasama na ulit natin si Weeb, at saka si Min. Ayan. Okay. They're also part of the original project din. Regarding na dito sa live si may nagchat-chat of pag-giveaway naman diyan, pang Wilkins. Kapag may pag may income na. Ayan. Pero wala pa eh. Pag meron na, sige, magpapag-giveaway tayo. Pag meron na income. Pag lang naman. Well, no guarantees.
Mga next year siguro.
Grabe naman yung next year. Mga next year naman. New Year, ganun. O kaya, anything, pili tayo. Sige. New Year. Ayan. Yun na lang.
New Year, sabi niya yan.
Ako nagsabi. Responsibility ko yun. Hindi damay dun si Z. Ako yun.
participate na lang din ako sa giveaway niya.
Participate na lang din kayo. Promote nyo yung channel, ganun. Okay? Pag na-promote nyo. Ayun, yun lang naman masasabi ko. Thank you guys for joining us. Dumaldal lang kami and nag-farm. Hopefully, naging useful yung information regarding sa resin spending. Yun talaga yung naging main highlight. And again, thank you. Good night. And everyone have a nice week. Have a nice week, everyone. Thank you. Peace out na, no? Peace out na di Ray and Z.
Peace
Peace out
out.
na kami. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.